So, apart from my head being cut off, let's take a look at... Hello. I want to show you guys what my VHS collection is. No, I'm not pedantic about what I buy on VHS, because no one watches VHS anymore. Or at least I don't know anyone who does. So, I'm going to go for a brief look at what films and TV shows I have on VHS. I actually don't own any of them, if I'm not wrong. Maybe 2 of them? Most of them are my dad's, let's put it that way. Some of them were given to me from other people. So, this is mostly just a showcase of the kind of films that we have on VHS. I don't know why we haven't thrown them out, we just keep them. Alright, so number 1, this is actually my one, Without a Clue. It's a Sherlock Holmes kind of spoof with, Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley, and, you know, it's the one where Sherlock is dumb and Watson is actually the genius mastermind who hires Sherlock as an actor to, be the person. Of course, that is an actual VHS tape. I'm not going to explain what a VHS is if you do not know what a VHS is. Well, actually, VHS is a video home system. This is a VCR, because it's a video cassette. Actually, wouldn't it just be VC? Because VCR is a video cassette recorder. I don't know! See, that's how little I give a shit. It's a fun film. I actually rather enjoy it to the point that I've watched it twice on VHS, and I got it 3 or 4 years ago from my grandparents, and I have not bothered to get the DVD, because I never thought about it. Here's a very interesting one. This is my mother's. Gone with the Wind. She loves Gone with the Wind. I think it's an amazing film, especially. But yeah, so this is part 1 and part 2 on VHS. Really not much else to it. Like, it's a beautifully designed case and everything. Like, it's very reflective. You got an iconic image, of literally the world burning. It's like 2, images combining, not literally, but well, literally, obviously, but also, the symbolism between both, the passion of love and the passion of, cold-hearted murder. Yeah, it's a big 3 hour-ish, maybe, long epic, and I really, really didn't like it. I have not watched the VHS, but we really just keep it for memento's sake. What's next, I hear you ask? Yes, I'm constantly going up and down. I don't have much battery life. Next up we have HR Puffin Stuff, a childhood show that I rewatched so many times that these VHSs, or VCRs, or just cassettes, I'm going to call them cassettes. These cassettes have literally 1 episode per cassette. I'm not even joking. So of course I did a Lachlan reviews for one of the episodes. I think it was the first episode of the show. I have 4 of them on VHS. The other one doesn't actually have a casing like this, doesn't have the slip thing. So of course this is Showbiz Witch and the Mechanical Boy. I think they're 2 of the last episodes, if not the last 2 episodes. Probably not actually the last episodes where Jimmy gets amnesia. Anyway, really bizarre show. I'd suggest watching the Lachlan Reviews episode on the first episode of the show if you want to just get an idea and get a definite impression of what it's like to watch that show. Secondly, I have The Simpsons. I now have the first 8 seasons on DVD, so this is pretty much useless. Look, great price, only $19.95. Oh, that's even better. It's not $19.99. This has 4 hilarious uncut episodes, including Butt vs. Australia. It's probably one of the only reasons it's such a set. This is one case, one thingy. By thingy, I mean 1. It's just the 1. It's a very full of film, that's for sure. God, it even advertises so much on the inside. So what does this episode, what episodes does this have? This has Homer versus Patty and Selma, Marge versus the Monorail, so already 2 iconic episodes, Homer versus Lisa and the 8th Commandment, and Bart versus Australia, which is very kind of stereotypical. Anyway, that's the joke. Not really. This has one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons, because he goes into, the real world, and it's horrifying. It's easily the scariest episode of The Simpsons I've ever seen, and is the most memorable because he literally dies? I don't know, I always as a kid interpreted that when he, as a 3D figure, when he went into that store, like to buy things or just to check out what was going on, he just vanished from existence and was dead forever, and no one would ever know, and it horrifies me. I don't know why, that's my interpretation of it. It's probably not actually like that, it's probably a nice thing, but he's just a cartoon character in the real world, and it's horrifying. I don't know why. It's a very interesting episode. I need to rewatch it at some stage. This may be the most recent, if not where the clue was. This is probably the second most recent VHS I've ever gotten. Again, this technically belongs to just me and Sam. It was passed down by from our uncle. It's Star Trek The Next Generation, All Good Things Parts 1 and 2. It's the final 2 episodes of Star Trek, the 7th season, the last 2 episodes of The Next Generation, and it's on VHS. Yeah, I don't know why we have this outside of our uncle gave it to us. And it even advertises the collection, which includes the movies, the series, The Next Generation, The Animated Adventures, and Deep Space Nine. Of course, I never really put that to light because I never realised it was Deep Space Nine until I watched it on TV. Yeah. We just really liked Next Gen. I still really do like it. I prefer it over any other Star Trek. And yeah, it's just an interesting thing. We've watched the last 2 episodes on TV, so normal definition, and on VHS. Just because... Oh god, I'm almost out of breath. Alright. Last but not least, comparing these are easily the best VHS we have, and we almost threw them out. At least I kept the first one. And by first one I literally mean the first one. It is Star Wars... Original Star Wars, last time available. Digitally, it's digitally mastered in terms of sound and picture quality. It has none of the special edition aspects, and if I'm not wrong, these are all the original versions of the films. Quite literally, this has, I don't think this is even, this of course was is the first re-release. And I still think, if I'm not wrong, it's the complete original. I don't like getting into disputes about it because it's confusing. You know, because it's the idea of, did it have A New Hope at the beginning? But like, even this doesn't have A New Hope. It just says Star Wars. Yeah, and I've watched, we once had a power outage a few years back, and I was like, a power outage? We had no internet for a week. Power outage. And I was like, hey, let's watch Star Wars on VHS. And we did. So that's the first film. That's the second film. In widescreen. Yeah. And that's the third film. In widescreen. We also have the DVDs of it and the Blu-rays. And pretty much we watched the DVDs as kids. I did grow up to some aspect watching the VHS of all 3 of these movies, and I've always enjoyed watching them on VHS. Again, we were about to throw out these 2, the second and third one, or fifth and sixth one. I don't know why, and I was like, oh, we gotta keep the first one because it's the original, you know, it's the original cut, and, or whatever, and I ended up just finding the other 2, and I was like, why don't we just keep all of them? I thought these would actually be really rare. It turns out that not really. Outside of the fact of, like, you know, Star Wars was being reproduced so often because of the sequels, and because Disney bought, and also the Blu-rays and the DVDs, and because people hate George Lucas and stuff like that, you know. And so, it turns out, of course, these are not as rare, but also the VHS, you know. This one's probably rarer because it's the original version, but there are a lot of people who have the original version on VHS, especially in America. I'm not the only one, which is good. I don't want to be the only one. That would be weird. Yeah, I like Star Wars, simply put. Always have, always will. The prequels are okay. Let's not get onto my opinion about Star Wars. It's just tiring. I'm tired as it is. It's tiring to talk about all the films I have. It's so hard. Cool. Alright, well, this was my VHS collection. my in quotation marks I'm going to apply here, otherwise people will be like, what does he mean by in quotation marks? Yeah, we don't have too many VHS, thank the Lord. I'm not even religious, I don't know why I just said that. We had a lot, we had a whole drawer full of them. We had so many VHS that we would use the VHS in our VHS player, which we still have, to record shows on TV if we missed them. You know, this was before you had DVR and shit like that, so, yeah, we used to tape TV shows. I remember taping a few episodes of The Good Wife because I had homework to do, so I taped them on the VHS, and rewatched them on the VHS. Yeah, that was before I really argued that picture quality was bad on VHS. Of course it is. It's kind of obvious. That's probably why I'm not really going to ever watch the VHSs again, because I don't want to ruin the tapes. So yeah, I'm going to go put them in their golden cases, and see you guys next week, when we're talking about why the James Bond franchise should have died 20 years ago. I don't fucking know. Bye!